being unclear, not being hot or cold. It's not that you don't believe, but you don't fully believe either. You go to church, but in your life, you live like an atheist. You accept the concept of God, but you live like a non-believer. Being ambiguous and lukewarm, that is very, very wrong before God. Let's go to Revelations chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 15. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out of my mouth. This is the image of the churches in the end times. They are somewhere in between. They are lukewarm. They go to church, but they are not the biblical Christians. In the book of Acts, it shows the image of true Christians, the image of the early churches. Compare that to your life and your values. Logically, theoretically, and religiously, you claim that you follow after the churches of the early ages, but realistically, you're like the church of Laodicea, being neither cold or hot. Not fully believing, but not completely denying either, being lukewarm. This is the status that God cannot stand. He is saying that it's abomination. He said he will vomit it out. But despite all this, there's still pridefulness. I am rich, have become wealthy, and have need of nothing. But God speaks of the truth. You do not know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. So how you think of yourselves and how God sees you may be completely different. I am rich. I have more than enough knowledge. I am wealthy and is in need of nothing. My faith is good enough. But you must have the right standard. Just look at the early Christians in the Bible. You must know that being ambiguous in Christian life is wrong before God. Elijah once shouted out to the Israelites, saying, "How long will you falter between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, but if Baal, follow him." He asked them, "How long will you falter?" So let me ask you, how long will you falter until the coming of Jesus? You must not be ambiguous. We have to have clear stance and attitude. We must make determination. We are the people of Jesus. We are Christians. We are born again Christians. And if that is true, we must determine. We must determine. Make the determination to live like a Christian. We must not be hesitant. We have to acknowledge that ambiguity in Christian life is not good. During Civil War, one soldier made a very foolish decision. The South and North were fighting, and this soldier was worried about getting shot. So he thought of a way to get away with it. The top, he wore Northern uniform, and the bottom, he wore uniform of the South. Now, the Northern soldiers would think he's on their side, and Southern soldiers would think he's on their side, and he thought they would not shoot him. But in reality, he got shot both top and bottom. So both sides thought he was on the opposing side and shot him. So a fence-sitter is an enemy, and you all know this by experience, right? You must make a clear stance. You must decide to be whether hot or cold, be completely on God's side or the side of the world. Truth is only on one side, and the rest are enemies. Pharisees, Sadducees, Herodians, Zealots. They come in many different forms. Lawyers, scribes, priests. There are many kinds, but they are all opposers of the truth. It's just that they all came in various forms. Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes, lawyers, Herodians, Zealots. They came in different forms, but they were all enemies of the truth. The only side with truth was with Jesus. And same with today as well. You must forsake diversity and choose a side for yourself, the side of Jesus. We confess Jesus as the Christ and believe that he is the Son of God. If that is true, you must stand firmly on his side. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5. 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. We know that we are of God, and the whole world lies under the sway of the wicked one. So we are of God. So we must believe the Bible as it is, and God as he is written. The God of the Bible. Listen, Israelites. The Lord God. He is the only God. So we must hold on to the truth professed in the Bible and take firm stance. And we must be on guard towards the opposing side, and that emphasizes diversity. It's just that they come in various forms, but the fact that they all oppose the truth remains the same. This whole world is in the side of the evil. We must not be unclear. We have to be clear. Let's go to Luke chapter 8, verse 14. Now the ones that fell among thorns are those who, when they have heard, go out and are choked with cares, riches, and pleasures of life, and bring no fruit to maturity. One of the most dangerous cases is the seed that fell among the thorns. You're just living. This just is the problem. You believe, but your faith is unclear. You say you believe, but your faith is unclear. You're not opposing. You're still holding on to the truth. You're living about. But at the same time, your heart is filled with the things of the world, the worries of this world, the riches of this world, and the pleasures of this life are clogging your heart, so you can't bear any fruits. You're just living. You don't oppose, deny, or reject, but you're not clinging on to the Word of God with all your heart. You're just delaying your judgment. You're just living. And how many people among us are doing the same? There's no change in their lives. But because of religious words, there's false certainty of their salvation. And you may be just living about like so. This is a very frightening thing. And me, as a pastor who gives sermon, this truly scares me. How many people in front of me are going straight to the path of destruction? Was I too gentle in my speech? I should have explained more concisely, but was I not clear enough for them to understand? Should I have warned them more clearly? These are the things that I ask myself constantly. If there's no change in your life, it means there's no life. Life has the characteristic of growing and spreading, and it bears fruits 30, 60, 100-fold. So no fruit means there's no life. Just living, it simply means you're not opposing, you're not disagreeing. And there certainly are people here that are just living like that. So you must be very careful. Those who go down the path of destruction while being in the church of truth is the most foolish ones. Because those people die right in front of the truth, they are foolish. God is the only true God. And in his sight, syncretism, supersessionism, and the state of being lukewarm are all wrong. And you must not be part of such cases. You must not be part of it. We are existing for the glory of God. And although we are nothing and our lives are so small, we still have to have hope of the will of God being shown through our lives. And we have to hope for God's will to be done. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. This heart of wanting God's will to be done should be our hearts. We have to get rid of this self-centeredness. There are people that believe God, but they think of Him as their guardian angel. They expect God to help them while living however they want to live. This is also wrong. We, who were created after the image of God, should have Him as the center of our lives. Not my will, but yours be done. This is the direction of life that we must take in this world. So get out of the self-centered mindset. Only then the priorities in life changes. The priorities of our life can change. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Only when we have the right center in our hearts we can understand this verse. We are not living in this world as a child of someone, and we are not living as a mother or a father of someone. Is that the purpose of life? No, it's not. Because we are living in God, we became a child to someone and a parent to someone. Because of our relationship with God, we are trying to do our best in other relationships as well. So your priorities must be set straight. Giving all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind means God is our everything. He is the very reason for our existence. Being partial is wrong. God should become our everything. Only then we can have proper priorities in life. And what is more amazing is that only when God becomes our everything, we are fulfilling the reason for our creation. And that becomes our joy. That becomes our true happiness. When we exist for the purpose of our creation, that is the most sound state we can be in. A train was constructed with care, and it was put on the rail with care. So even before its construction, the train was meant to be on the rail, right? It may want to go over mountains here and there, but train was constructed so that it can stay on the rail from the beginning till the end. That is the most proper state the train can be at. And humans are like that too. The joy of human being lies in our relationship with God. We were created in the image of God. So rejoicing in God forevermore becomes our greatest happiness. So God has to become our everything. And we must give all our hearts, our lives, our minds, and our strengths. And He commands us to do so. When He becomes our everything, He becomes our joy. Because it fits perfectly as to why we exist. So God should not become just portion of our lives. Considering God as an accessory to our lives, but thinking that believing is enough is wrong before God. Just think about it. You are told to pay 100K worth of tax, but you paid 1,000. Even if you paid that much, it still becomes a sin. Why? Because you are supposed to pay 100K, but you only paid 1,000. That is tax evasion. So the relationship with God only has the option of giving everything. Giving all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind, your everything. Because He is the creator God. Because He is the creator, you cannot serve Him partially. But you must also remember, giving all that you have, it becomes your greatest joy and greatest happiness. Because God designed us to be like that. Only when we live to glorify God, we can find the true meaning and value and purpose of our lives. Giving our everything. We can also compare this to money. Let's say you're earning $1,000 a month. And you're so worried about how you're supposed to live with that amount of money. But your father says, I don't know how much you make, but give it all to me, and whenever you need money, take it from me. And you say, Father, this is all I have. How come you're asking for all of it? But he says, just give everything to me and then take some away every time you need it. And you trusted him, so you gave all. And you drew some out every time you needed, and before you know it, the monthly spending was $12,000. So there's nothing to lose here, and God is doing the same. If you're going to be partial, just do whatever you like, but try giving your all to me. I will give you back everything you need. That is what he is saying. And our relationship with God is like that. If you give your life to him, he will be able to make your every day the best days. Because he is God the Creator. He's the only God. So make the determination to give your all to him. Then you will experience God who provides everything.